In the closing days before the election, Donald Trump is getting hit hard by attack ad after attack ad from Vice President Kamala Harris and from outside groups like the Lincoln Project and the Anti-Psychopath PAC led by George Conway. Here's the latest from the Lincoln Project. They say, Donald Trump has always been a sore loser, but losing to a woman, his misogynistic ego couldn't take it. He'd rather lie, cheat, and abuse. Play this clip.
We know Trump's history with women, how he sees them, how he treats them, how he insults and abuses them. We know his record. We know from his own bragging.
You can do anything. Whatever you grab him by the...
And we know from a court ruling that Trump is a sexual abuser who had to pay almost $100 million for defaming his victim.
I'm here because Donald Trump raped me.
Now, we're seeing his hatred for one woman, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
The attacks, ugly.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. She became a black person.
The smears and lies, pure Trump.
She's sort of incompetent. She's not very smart, but she's very radical.
We know Donald Trump is desperate. We know he'll do anything to win. We know he'll do anything to beat a woman.
Next up, this is from George Conway's Anti-Psychopath PAC. As George writes, meet Amy Doris. She was assaulted by Donald Trump. She has something to say about him. This ad is part of a multi-million-dollar spend by the Anti-Psychopath PAC. Let's play it.
My name is Amy Doris. In 1997, I attended the U.S. Open. We went to Donald Trump's VIP box. I went into the bathroom. When I came out, Trump was standing there. He was not waiting to go to the bathroom. He was waiting for me. He kind of grabbed me and tried to kiss me. He was touching me all over my body. I pushed him away. I could not move. He just shoved his tongue in my mouth, started kissing me. It was so forceful. It was not pleasant. It was not welcomed. It was not consensual. I literally used my teeth to push his tongue out of my mouth. It was violating and it was traumatic. I thought it was my fault. Seeing the Access Hollywood video made me realize that Donald Trump is a serial sexual predator. He says he's going to protect women. He harms women. He has no respect for women. It is a danger to our society to put this man back in the White House. It's like, when will this stop?
Oscar Award winner Marshall Curry delivered a powerful new short film, Insulin Prices, profiling Lacey as she struggles with high insulin prices. This film is part of a short series that the Lincoln Project did in partnership with Democracy 2025. Let's play it.
I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was 17. I was like, my parents will pay for my prescriptions, no problem. And the nurse was like, I don't think you realize how expensive they are. I voted for Donald Trump in 2016, hoping he would lower drug prices, but nothing changed at all. I heard Harris mention insulin prices during the 2020 campaign.
The vice president votes in the affirmative. The bill is passed.
The idea of Harris getting elected gives me so much hope to have a leader that's going to fight for people like me.
Lincoln Project released another one. They go, believe it or not, things have gotten much worse than even what went down last week in the Republican Party. They call this short, Last Week in the Republican Party. Let's play it.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president?
Look at this beautiful swastikas. There we go, white power.
We are going to take inflation and we are going to deflate it.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser.
Well, in a sane world with an unbiased media, this election wouldn't even be close.
You know what men love? Being nagged about how we talk.
Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy, and we have sick puppies coming into our country.
As a black man, yes, 0.1%, I resent Barack Obama accusing me of being a sexist and a race traitor.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
Yeah, but we'll listen to a couple of songs if you want, and that's okay with me. I like it. So we'll do that. We'll do those songs that we had mentioned, Justin. And if Justin doesn't get it right, he gets fired.
See what I do to my assistant.
No.
Keep him in line.
I've heard from HR.
Every single day they have to experience transgenders at their school.
Sir, you should not call Chris Christie a fat pig.
The penis
of a 13-year-old boy.
Uh-oh. I just a thought from a very brilliant mind.
They have to experience people that think that they're bunny rabbits, kitty cats, dogs. They get meowed at. They get barked at.
He is not a fat pig.
Yes, there was a riot at the Capitol on January the 6th, but there was still a peaceful transfer of power in this country.
Kids scratch me on the back because they identify as a cat.
We support Trump because in China we call him Dong Wang, which means the king who knows everything.
President Donald Trump is the master of his fate. He is the captain of his soul.
He is not a fat pig. Also, we have many Azerasians. I did a little one, a little tiny one with a small group, and then I did a really big one. I did a big one. He's a fat pig, sir.
The Lincoln Project has this incredible ad. They go, immigration is part of America's DNA. Trump wants you to fear and hate what makes America great because Trump hates America and what it stands for. Let's play it.
What are you so afraid of? New people coming to this country? Immigration has been the backbone of American growth for over 2 centuries. Coming here for a better life is in the DNA of the American dream.
America is a proposition, not a race, an idea, not a bloodline.
But Donald Trump, the grandson of immigrants himself, wants you to be afraid.
Afraid of people who come here to work hard. Afraid of people who might not look like you, but desperately want to call themselves American.
These are people who aren't looking for a handout. They aren't trying to be the burden Trump claims they are.
They want to contribute, to call this place home, and to carve out their piece of the American dream.
But despite everything this country did for his family after they came here, Trump wants to pull the ladder up behind him, and his billionaire pals are trying to help him do it.
Don't be a pawn in their schemes.
America works best when we are a beacon to the world.
If Trump is president, he'll turn that beacon off. And that's on America.
Let's face it, after a night with drinks, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. Hey, I gotta be honest with myself, right? It feels like I have to choose between having a great night or a great next day. That is until I found pre-alcohol. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Every time I have pre-alcohol before drinks, I notice a difference the next day. For example, after a fun night out with friends at like a local bar or wherever we go, I could still get up the next morning and hit the gym. And I'll admit, I was skeptical at first, but I tried it at a dinner party with some friends. The next morning, I felt great, ready to tackle the day, ready to do more videos here at the MeidasTouch Network. I kept hearing about pre-alcohol and wondered what it was actually like. Now that I've tried it, I get the hype. Plus, with their GMO technology, ZBiotics is continuing to create probiotics that tackle the challenges of modern living. Go to zbiotics.com/Meidas to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use code Meidas at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you are unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Meidas and use that code Meidas. It's MEIDAS at checkout for 15% off.
Here's another one by the Lincoln Project. They call it Things Fascists Say. It's part of a continuing series that they've been doing, using the military against political opponents. The curtain has been fully lifted. Let's play it.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're the big, and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
Next up from the Lincoln Project, Tony Award-winning actor Wendell Pierce brings his message and his voice to this powerful ad. Let's play it.
The story of being black in America is filled with never-ending chapters of challenge. Driving while black, banking while black, parenting while black. But what about voting while black? They always tell you this election will be different, and it rarely is. So many promises made. Promises of economic justice and social equity that never quite make it to your pocket or your porch. But this election, there really is only one choice. This time, she is the choice. Now I know you're thinking I've never voted for a woman and I'm not going to start now. Ask yourself, why not? And maybe you'll find it's not about her. It's about you. What you want for your family, for your future. Because if you vote for what you want, the choice becomes clear. It's Kamala. Listen to your gut. Your heart is telling you that Kamala Harris is the right person for the job. It's time for courage, for boldness. It's time to come together for change. It's time to be a man. Vote for a woman.
This is from Republican voters against Trump, highlighting Republican voters who are no longer supporting Donald Trump. Let's play it.
Out of money, I know. What are you rich as hell? We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay you.
I am not rich as hell. I work hard. I scrape to get by. Donald Trump wants to give tax breaks to billionaires, but Kamala Harris has plans to help us. She's going to crack down on price gouging and cut taxes for working people like me. I voted for Donald Trump before, but this time I'm voting for Kamala.
Here's another one from Republican voters against Trump. When Americans were dying by the hundreds, Trump was busy sending COVID test kits to Vladimir Putin. Americans died while Donald Trump was appeasing a dictator. This is unforgivable. Watch their new ad.
In the height of the pandemic, people were dying by the hundreds.
I yelled at him, "Don't leave me. It's just a different future for me."
And remember, everybody was scrambling to get the COVID test kits.
The U.S. does not have enough test kits to meet the demand.
And Donald Trump secretly sent COVID test kits to Putin, an adversary to the United States, because he admires dictators when the American people are dying by the hundreds and in need of relief. That is just the most recent, stark example of who Donald Trump is. And what I see, people are coming together of all different backgrounds to say, you know what, do we want a president who's going to abide by the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, or someone who is full-time engaged in flattery from Vladimir Putin and sending COVID testing kits over to him when Americans are dying every day?
My worst fear is that she feels like she died alone.
Here's another great one from the Anti-Psychopath PAC, highlighting the women Donald Trump has sexually assaulted. This is Natasha Stoynoff. Here is her story. Let's play it.
My name is Natasha Stoynoff. In 2005, I went to interview Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. At one point, Melania went upstairs to change her clothes for the next photo shoot. And Trump said to me, "I want to show you this beautiful painting, this beautiful room." He leads me to this room, pushes me against the wall, and starts kissing me forcefully. I tried to push him. Kept coming back at me. I was in shock and smothered, and he had his hands here against my shoulders. I felt sick inside. I felt horrified. And thank goodness the butler charges into the room. Like many women, I blamed myself. So Trump turned to me and said, "You know we're going to have an affair, don't you?" And Melania was approaching. I was horrified. When the Access Hollywood tape came out, and also stories of many other women, including E. Jean Carroll, I realized I was not to blame, that he was just a predator of women. What could have happened if the butler had not come into the room? Donald Trump is an adjudicated sexual assaulter. We cannot elect this man as president.
Next up, this is from Vice President Kamala Harris, how Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda would give him unchecked power to act on his worst instincts, and there will be no one to stop him. Let's watch it.
Donald Trump, more dangerous, more erratic than ever before.
Echoing fascist.
The worst people are the enemies from within.
The enemy from within are more dangerous than Russia.
We have some very bad people. It should be very easily handled by the military.
I do remember the day that he suggested that we shoot people on the streets.
The second term would be worse. There will be no one to stop his worst instincts. Unchecked power, no guardrails. If we elect Trump again, we're in terrible danger.
There's another one from Vice President Kamala Harris. She talks about how Donald Trump took out a full-page newspaper ad calling for the execution of innocent Black and Latino boys, the Central Park Five. Trump has a long history of racism, and his Project 2025 plan would give him virtually unchecked power over Black Americans' lives and bodies. Let's play it.
Wrongfully convicted.
5 teenagers were arrested, tried, convicted, and sent to prison.
Men were exonerated.
What he did to us, he tried to end us.
Of course I hate these people.
So-called the Central Park Five. Calling for execution.
And let's all hate these people.
We cannot have this man go into office again.
I want society to hate him.
We were innocent kids. The confessions were coerced.
Today, we are exonerated. That guy says he still stands by the original guilty verdict.
This is about democracy being on the ballot.
I have absolutely no compassion.
Look at Kamala. She represents the kaleidoscope of the human family. There's something different happening in America. We will get the opportunity to build a future where we will be able to thrive and not just survive.
Here was a great one from Vice President Kamala Harris, highlighting the strength of Detroit and the strength in Michigan. Let's play it.
They said we were dead.
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
That our best days were behind us. That living here is like
living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We look out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy, he don't know anything about that. We are a city of winners, of up-and-comers, of builders, the Motor City. Bigger and better. Here, we believe in freedom. We don't bow down to nobody, and we never will. And so what Donald Trump doesn't understand, or care to learn, is that when he said,
our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
That he should be so goddamn lucky.
And earlier on Wednesday, Donald Trump made fun of, mocked the family of Amber Thurman, who died after not receiving urgent care needed for an infection under Georgia's abortion ban. Donald Trump mocked the family and said he would be getting better ratings than them. This is what Donald Trump said. Play the clip.
Amber Thurman's family have come out on a press call, and they're doing what's called a pre-buttal 2-hour town hall right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I want to
get better ratings, I promise.
And shortly after that, Vice President Kamala Harris's team came out with an ad. Her name was Amber Nicole Thurman, and she lost her life because Donald Trump ended Roe v. Wade. Let's play it.
My daughter Amber made me so proud. She was having complications, and
tonight we are learning more about the death of Amber Thurman.
The death of Amber Thurman was likely preventable if she'd had access to abortion care in her home state of Georgia.
What happened to her was preventable. My daughter is gone because of what Donald Trump did.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
It's nothing good enough to bring her back. Her life is over. I've never been a political person. Never. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she showed me she really cared. I felt her sincerity, and I felt her strength.
We will speak her name, Amber Nicole Thurman.
I felt her compassion. We will never get Amber back, but we can make sure this never happens again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Well, there you have it. Those are the new ads that are out. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thank you so much for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.